Hello, fellow Kings fans from Port Townsend, Washington to Southern California and wherever you may be. Welcome to episode 8 of my 10-part miniseries chronicling my 41-year history as a lifelong fan of the Los Angeles Kings, loyalty to royalty. I'm Ray Jackson, your host. Well, last time you remember in the last episode, we were chronicling the 2012 Stanley Cup Championship, our first ever in club history. Well, now, we didn't know they're going to win a second time in 3 years. We started to believe in everything we could. Now, however, what was more difficult than the first cup, the first Stanley Cup in 2012, we were leading all 4 rounds 3 games to none. Easy, pretty much, too easy for a team that had never had a history about it. Well, we had it a little bit tougher in 2014. We had to win not 1, not 2, but 3 consecutive Game 7s on the road. We faced elimination 7 or 8 times, I can't remember how many, and we won all those games, set all sorts of records. And here you go, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. The 2014 championship drawer, as big as it was in 2012, of course. And the first things first, the team hat, everybody. Yep, the champions got to wear these hats. And I happen to have one right here for you. Also, of course, Stanley Cup Championship right here, as you can tell. I'll get you a little close up here. All the retail tags are still intact, fully in place. And it's one size fits all. It's a 3930 series from New Era, of course, which are very nice, the stretch fit ones. Also, I got myself a Stanley Cup Championship towel right here, of course. And I'll spread it out here, of course. I'll just take off the slow-mo. And this was the towel that every Kings player got when we first won our second championship in 3 years. Right there on the ice. They were done with these, of course. And after a double overtime in Game 5 that closed it against the New York Rangers, thanks to Alec Martinez, the newest hero on the block for the Kings, we won our Stanley Cup the second time in 3 years. Also, I have these little rally towels here as well. They're supposed to be replica jerseys of the Kings, obviously miniature replicas. And obviously they're used, of course. Here's the first one. Yep, number 14 in your program and number 1 in your heart until last year when he signed with somebody else, a free agent. None other than Mr. Game 7 himself, Justin Williams, who turned out to be the Conn Smythe Trophy winner as the MVP of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Also, we got this one right here. And of course, it's Trevor Lewis's jersey, of course, as a replica. Yep. And this was the one we wore when we won Game 5 and clinched our second cup in 3 years. Trevor Lewis. Park City, Utah, of course, and one of their finest. And also, of course, got one for the playoffs, of course, with number 32, Jonathan Quick, of course, JQ32, I like to call him. Of course, this was during the first round of the playoffs, leading into the finals, of course. Which I, of course, have a Stanley Cup final bench towel right here, of course. You know, the tags are still on it, ladies and gentlemen. All the tags are still on it. Now, you say, Ray, do you have more t-shirts of the Stanley Cup this season as opposed to the last one? Well, the answer is yes. So let's get to it. I didn't buy duplicates of them to wear because I was low on money at the time, and I wanted to get them at least filled up in the drawer, if not to get duplicates to wear around as well. But look at that, isn't that beautiful, everybody? Retail stickers here, the retail tag right here, like I said. New with tags, never worn, never will be worn. It's going to become a huge collector's item in a few years. You never know whether or not we're going to have another chance to win a Stanley Cup championship again. I think we might have spent ourselves in 2 cups in 3 years. Who knows? That's anything can happen, though. Also, here's your another t-shirt right here. Of course, it's blank on the back. Isn't that beautiful? From Majestic, tag-free, but the retail tags are still intact on it. And the one from our 2014 championship, the locker room jersey, of course. Official locker room merchandise. Here's a good look at it. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful, Kings fans? Nothing more beautiful than the side of a championship t-shirt with your favorite team on it. And of course, I got this one right here. Right here, of course. Oh yeah, look at that. I'll tell you. Gray header looks excellent right here. Of course, you see it's got the Stanley Cup Championship logo right here, of course. Isn't that beautiful? Anything else but this is, you know, pretty much less. And of course, I got this one here in white as well. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's a true champion for you. You got one in white this time. And of course, I got these were custom made. They're printed up and things like that, wholesale things like that. But yeah, they wanted to pattern the Stanley Cup Championship t-shirts after the ones for the 2012 championship. As you can tell, it hasn't been washed. And you need to wash it before you wear it. After all, it's with vegetable dye and things like that. I just decided never to wear it, of course. And of course, you also have this one, which I also bought in black as well. Yep. Isn't that a beauty? Never been washed, never been worn. And of course, Reebok came out with a few t-shirts of their own for this particular series. As you can see here, Stanley Cup Championship memorabilia. All retail tags are still in place, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. These will never be removed and truly indicative of a collector's item to be for years to come. And of course, it was a crowning achievement, nevertheless. No pun intended on it, but there it is, ladies and gentlemen, of course. And yep, your entire Stanley Cup playoff roster that was on the bench for the entire playoffs and things like that. Available to head coach Daryl Sutter's use, of course. And finally, we got this one as well. Yep, retail tag stickers all in place. Yep, it's your reflective tag. Here's your other one right here, of course. And of course, Stanley Cup Championship mini banners for 2013-14, courtesy of the good folks at McDonald's. Yep. Also, of course, you're wondering, got rings? Oh yes, I've got rings, all right. As a matter of fact, let me show you what the rings look like, of course. As I give you a little close-up here, this is the replica of the ones the players got when they won the title, of course. When they received their rings during opening day, I believe it was against the San Jose Sharks at that particular time. Not too favorable a result, but certainly look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And of course, you got Justin Williams on there, of course. And 2014 right here. Nicely done. And of course, I got a second one right here for it. Now, that one I wear for myself, but most certainly. And the stadium giveaway version of our 2014 championship ring right here. New inbox, mid-condition, Fox Sports West. You got your team huddle around the cup again, just like we did 2 years ago. Of course, it's a little bit different shot this time. And of course, your fan rings, giving out the fans at Staples Center, including that one, of course. Isn't that beautiful, ladies and gentlemen? Look at that. Gorgeous. Nicely done. Here's your Kings logo right here, of course, along with the championship, as well as, of course, the results of all the series that the Kings played during that year. To get back to a second to the replica of the actual ones the players got, you can tell inside of it, if I can get a close-up here, on the inside of it, it mentions the series, all 4 series right here, of course. That's starting with the San Jose Sharks, the Anaheim Ducks, of course the Chicago Blackhawks, and the New York Rangers, who became our final victims in that Stanley Cup Championship run that particular year. And boy, I'll tell you, finishing it off at double OT, thanks to Alec Martinez, who got us into the finals in the first place with that game-winning overtime goal against the Blackhawks in Game 7 of that. Of course, you got some lanyards here, and each of the lanyards here, of course, more championship merchandise right here. And you can tell the retail tag is still on it. Yep. I will never get rid of this. And of course, on the back, it also has, of course, your usual for the Kings here. Also, another clip-on type of lanyard here. The official one indicating we're 2014 Stanley Cup champions. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, you got your LA and National Hockey League shields on the other side of it, of course, they're reversible. And I got 2 of those, of course, because you never know if however, get to witness another championship again. Hopefully, I'm proving people wrong. And yes, as far as the telecast is concerned off NBC and NBCSN, well, this time, unlike the first time in 2012 when we won that game of regulation, we knew it was over about a heartbeat. Well, I had to take 2 DVDs in the same LP mode in order to be able to, you know, record the show on the DVD-Rs and things like that. And yes, June 13th, 2014, here's disc number 1 of Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. It went to overtime. There were the end of the overtime period. I checked the DVD recorder, and it had less than 8 minutes of track time left on it. So what I did was, when it went into the commercial break after the first overtime had finished, I immediately took that one out and replaced another one in there just before they came out in that very same commercial break. So all you missed is maybe, a couple commercials here or there and things like that. And here's part 2 of it. Part 2 has the second overtime intermission report, as well as, of course, the winning goal scored by Alec Martinez himself. Of course, we got their Stanley Cup Championship DVD here. We got the DVD and Blu-ray of Stanley Cup Moments right here. I'll show it to you right here. It was dubbed as Championship Moments, and this is an Emmy Award-winning series, by the way, just like the last one in 2012. And right here, it's all the proceeds went to the King's Care Foundation, and I was more than willing to put mine up. As a matter of fact, myself and a lot of other fellow Kings fans wanted them to put out another Stanley Cup Moments, and here's the Blu-ray disc, of course, of it. And I mentioned, of course, the official DVD from Warner Brothers and for the Stanley Cup from the NHL, of course. And, of course, you got your 2014 Stanley Cup Final patch here, the championship patch for 2014, and the mini banner from 2013-14 as well. God, it's been a long, really road right here for the Kings, of course. And, oh yeah, if you're wondering if I've been collecting any other merchandise besides the ones I mentioned earlier in episodes 2 and 3, since moving up from LA, the answer is yes. And our next episode will be unveiling those as well. So until next time, fellow Kings fans, this is Ray Jackson reminding all of you that the 3 most important words in the English language are Go Kings Go! Peace out, good night, enjoy the game everybody!